Let's look first at the estimated item difficulties. And to do so, we need to run our code block B, which runs the Rasch analyses. And the output that you'll see in your console window once you've run block B is a table of item difficulties, and those are in logits, and they're found in the column xsi.item. So we can see from looking at this list that task 9 is our most difficult item, estimated at 3.325 logits. And task 6 is our least difficult item, estimated at negative 2.273 logits. You also will notice in the command that runs the Rasch model that there's an argument called constraint equals items, and that is setting the item difficulty average to 0. So although the output doesn't directly give you that average, if you take the average of the difficulties in the xsi.item column, you'll find that that average is either 0 or very close to 0. After running a Rasch analyses, one of the first things that we look at is the performance of the individual items. And one metric for looking at individual items is item infit, which stands for information weighted fit statistic. And this fit statistics focuses on responses for people whose ability is very close to the specific item's difficulty. And the infit measure gives more weight to observation where the model expects most of the information. So that's right around the 50% probability point of a correct response. So it's very sensitive to patterns in unexpected responses in the target zone. Specifically, if an item had high infit, that suggests that the item doesn't function predictably for on-target respondents, which means that item doesn't function predictably for respondents whose ability is very near the difficulty of that item. And then an item with very low infit suggests that the item responses are overly predictable, redundant, or patterned, and this often happens with a very easy item. And then the counterpart to item infit is item outfit. Item outfit stands for outlier sensitive fit statistic. And this fit statistic focuses on all the responses now, especially from persons whose ability are far from the item's difficulty. Outfit is not weighted by information, therefore it's sensitive to extreme values. So for example, if a very low ability person gets a very hard or difficult item correct, that can strongly affect the outfit. And if outfit statistics have high values, that could indicate a number of things, including guessing, cheating, some type of a coding error. And like infit, if the outfit statistic is very low, that may also suggest overly consistent or constrained responses. Okay, I want to say a few more things about fit statistics and their interpretation. Normally, in output from software programs that do Rasch analyses, it's the mean square error value in that output that is your fit statistic, either infit or outfit. And a perfectly functioning item would have an expected infit and outfit of 1.0. And that's interpreted as the ratio of observed to expected variation. And fit statistics apply to either items or persons. Now, in terms of interpretation of the fit statistics values, really what we're shooting for are the values in the top row of this table. Fit statistics ranging from 0.5 to 1.5 are productive for measurement. They're contributing positively to the Rasch measurement model. And values outside of that range, they can be tolerable and might not necessarily suggest that items need to be removed until we really get down to the bottom row here, where infit and outfit, either one or both of them, are greater than 2.0. Because when we start getting values above 2.0, the item is really compromising and degrading the measurement model. So we want to look really closely at the idea of possibly removing that item from the measure. To generate item fit information in R, we'll want to access the syntax file and run block C of code. The output produced by block C will include some summary statistics for item fit. In particular, we'll see that the average outfit of the items is 0.71, and the average infit of the items is 0.91 approximately. Ideally, these averages would be close to 1. So with regard to item infit, we're not too far from that ideal situation, but the outfit average value is somewhat distant from 1.0, so I suspect if there are any problems with fit, they're going to be in the outfit domain, not the infit domain. In addition to the summary statistics for fit, we get the fit statistics for each individual item. Okay, so we get a column of infit items and a column of outfit item estimates. So with regard to infit, all of those infit statistics are between 0.5 and 1.5. Would consider those all within a range of being productive for measurement. With regard to outfit, though, we have two items, 8 and 6, that are out of the productive range, but they're out on the low end. Now they're lower than 0.5, so they're not really harmful, they're just not very informative. And we know that items 6 and 8 likely have the low outfit because they are very easy items relatively, and therefore have probably redundant data to a large degree because the vast majority of persons are getting these items correct. And finally, let's talk about two additional considerations related to the items. The first is item separation. And item separation is an indicator of whether the current sample provides enough precision to distinguish and reliably order the items by their difficulties. Item separation asks the question, does the distribution of item difficulties combined with the precision provided by the sample size, do those jointly allow us to distinguish and reliably order items into a hierarchy? Mathematically, item separation is the ratio of the standard deviation of the difficulty estimates to the root mean squared error, where the root mean squared error is the square root of the sum of all the squared item standard errors multiplied by a constant, which is a reciprocal of the number of items. Further, we can take the item separation and calculate something called item separation reliability, which reflects how replicable or stable the item difficulty orderings would be with another sample of people of the same size and with the same ability distribution. And mathematically, item separation reliability can be computed by calculating the ratio of the item separation squared over 1 plus the item separation squared. A very informative thing that we can do with item separation values is we can translate them into item strata. Here's the premise of this approach. We want to determine how many statistically distinct levels of item difficulty we have in our items, where statistically distinct means that the intervals are separated by at least 3 standard errors. Using a threshold like this ensures that the estimates are not overlapping due to measurement error. There's a formula that we can use to convert item separation values into item strata, and that formula is defined as the number of statistically distinct levels, or strata, is equal to 4 times the separation value plus 1 divided by 3. So, for example, if we estimated an item separation of 2.0, that would result, after doing the arithmetic, of 3 statistically distinct strata or levels. I want to say a few things about how one might interpret item separation and item separation reliability values. If we look at the top table of the two, which is about the item separation index, we see that separation values 2 or below are considered poor because those values would result in less than 3 statistically distinct item difficulty strata or levels, which could be problematic for differentiating item difficulties and person abilities. Whereas if our item separation index is greater than 3, then that would provide at least 4 statistically distinct strata of item difficulties, which would be a much better situation. And then with regard to item separation reliability, we see from the table that beginning at about 0.8 and above, the item ordering goes from at least reasonably stable to very stable at values above 0.90. That would be a good situation to be in from an item separation reliability standpoint. And then at the bottom end, if we are observing reliability values below 0.70, that's considered weak. And in those situations, we might expect that the item difficulty ordering that we observed in one sample may not replicate in some new sample of different respondents. Additional information that we can get from running block C from the syntax file is item separation and item separation reliability. From the output from running block C, we can see that the item separation reliability is quite good, 0.99, and that means that the difficulty hierarchy is highly stable. The rankings of those difficulties for the items, highly stable, and is likely to replicate across different samples of respondents. We also get in the output the item separation index of 9.95 to 2 decimal places. Recall that we can take that item separation index and use this formula to calculate the number of statistically distinct strata for these item difficulties. And plugging in the 9.95 separation index, we see that this sample and variation in item difficulties translates to 13.6 statistically distinct levels of item difficulty, which is quite good because that is a really good resolution for this measure.